Howdy Booktube, Nikki here with another haul for you. Some books that I bought. I'm never going to try and figure out when I bought these. They're just since my last haul, because I'm not very good at doing monthly hauls. I just do hauls whenever I have a bunch of books to show you. So I'm going to show you some books that I bought within an unspecified time frame, because that is how I roll. So without further ado, books. August and September had some really awesome releases. I think the time that I was most excited about books coming out was end of August, beginning of September. So the first books that I'm going to show you came out around that time. And the first book I have is You're Never Weird on the Internet, Almost, by Felicia Day. This is Felicia Day's memoir. I'm so excited to read this. I haven't read it yet, but I am looking forward to it so much. I haven't heard a single bad thing about this book. I've only heard amazing things. In fact, it's got a foreword by Joss Whedon, which I only noticed moments ago, written on the front here. It was a very beautiful moment. Wish you were there. Felicia Day is flipping awesome. She's done such amazing things, from like the Guild to all her online stuff she's created, to being on Buffy and working with Joss Whedon and other stuff, to just being a delightful human being. I met her one time and she signed my comic books and I died. So I'm super excited to read this. I got it in hardcover, even though it was super expensive, because I got like a voucher for an Australian online bookstore when I went to see, it must have been Paper Town. So I have it in pretty hardcover. The next book I have is Everything by Nicola Yoon. I promised that I didn't just buy it because we have the same first name. But it looks amazing. Just look at this cover. Freaking pretty. It's a contemporary about a girl who's allergic to everything. YA contemporary isn't something that I'm like usually getting really excited about a book release for, but I have heard nothing but excellent things about this, and it just sounds amazing. And I do have a soft spot for books about people with physical conditions, because I find that it is an area that I like to see explored in fiction. So I plan to read this super soon because it sounds amazing, it looks amazing, smells amazing. And of course, 1st of September was the day of Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas. This is the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series. I have already read it. It's amazing. Flipping awesome. Flipping giant, but flipping awesome. So this next one was an impulse buy. I think it's kind of recently released. I'm not 100% sure when it came out. But that is The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. So as far as I understand, this one is about high schoolers who go to a high school with the chosen one. So basically, it's about all the other people that aren't the chosen one. So imagine a book about Sunnydale, but it's not got Buffy or any of the Scoobies as the protagonists. It's got the other randos who get attacked every second week. I don't know. That's basically what it sounds like to me. Sounds pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited for it. I had plans to read this eventually, but the selling point for me to buy it when I did was that it was cheap, and it was hardback, and it was really, really freaking pretty. It came with this bookmark, which is awesome sauce, because bookmarks, yes. And if you take off the dust jacket, look at it! Dun dun dun! I don't know if you can see that, but it has written in there, sort of embossed, not everyone has to be the chosen one. It's got blue lining on the pages. It's just a really, really pretty book. I haven't read any Patrick Ness, so gotta fix that. Gonna fix it with this one. Yeah. Also, I'm guessing this has something to do with wild animals, because the lining is like these deer creatures. It's got this like, what would you call that? Cougar? Panther? Mountain lion? I don't know animals of the world, because I'm too busy learning about Australian animals and how not to be killed by them. Yeah. The next book I bought I talked about in my last TBR, because it is my most anticipated release of the entire year by an author that I love, and that is Demon Road by Derek Landy. Derek Landy wrote the Skullduggery Pleasant series, which I flipping love. It's my favourite series of all time, so I was really pumped for this book. It's the first book in a new trilogy, and it's a YA trilogy as opposed to a middle grade series as Skullduggery Pleasant sort of was, except was it though? Because that last book, that was crazy. The main character, Amber, finds out that her parents are trying to kill her. Whoops, that's a bit harsh. And she finds out all of these like family secrets, and it's not good, and she has to go on the run with this guy Milo, who's a bit mysterious but has a very cool car. Anyway, it's amazing. I loved it, and it is just a really pretty cover. It's very shiny. I was a bit dubious about some of the earlier cover reveals, but I feel like this amount of shininess and this art It's good, works for me. The rest of the books I have aren't necessarily new releases. I've just acquired them over time and haven't shown you yet. The first of those is Stormbreaker by, oh my gosh, I almost said Stormbreaker by Alex Rider. He didn't write the books. That's not how it works. Stormbreaker by Anthony Horowitz. This is the first book in the Alex Rider series. I have read this. This was like my entire high school experience. I didn't read Harry Potter growing up. I didn't read Harry Potter until I was like 18 or something. But I did read Alex Rider, and I was waiting for every Alex Rider book to come out. So for me, Alex Rider is kind of like my Harry Potter. It was like the series that I'd wait for the next book, and I would go see the movie that was terrible and laugh about it forever because what the heck, man? But I recently won this book in a competition. This is the new Walker Books released editions sort of thing. They've released the entire series with these massively explosive covers. They're not my favourite covers. I do prefer some of the covers that I have. However, I was super stoked to receive this because it's signed by Anthony Horowitz. Holy macaroni. That's just, it's so awesome. Is it not? Is it not just so awesome? I won this in a competition from Dimmicks, so thank you very much to Dimmicks for sending this to me. Ah, it's so beautiful. I love it. It's amazing. This is one of my favorite series. I actually really want to reread this series soon. I won't be reading this one because this is now my golden, like, put it in a frame, don't ever touch it, don't breathe on it, because it's signed and it's beautiful. Also, bonus, didn't have to pay for it. Yeah! I also picked up The Martian by Andy Weir. I've just heard such great things about this book. And it's a movie now, and I haven't read the book yet, and I want to see the movie. I put off watching the trailer because I thought it was going to spoil me a little bit on the book, but I ended up seeing it when I saw Scorch Trials. The trailer was on before, and I didn't know, but Ridley Scott is doing the movie. Ridley Scott! Ridley Scott! Ah. This was actually very expensive. I think it's because the Australian dollar is a piece of crap right now. So all I know about this is that it's a guy who gets stuck on Mars and the rest of his astronauty peeps go back to Earth thinking he's dead. And then he's like, whoa man, I'm alive, what's up? But they can't hear him because he can't contact Earth. And he's like, well that's awkward. Now I have to figure out how to not die. It's supposed to be very funny and very sciencey. Not sure how that will go down. At the start of September we had the Brisbane Writers Festival, so I bought books by a couple of the guests there. First of all, I picked up The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. She's awesome. Holly Black was really lovely, and I read The Coldest Girl in Cold Town, and I thought that her writing was really nice and that her ideas were really interesting. And this one is one that I've heard about more than Coldest Girl in Cold Town, and people have had differing opinions, but very, very strong opinions. So it sounds like it's a very interesting book with big ideas. I think it's a fantasy with like fairy type creatures, but it's also maybe set now in like the now. And I've heard that it gets pretty intense, so I'm interested to read it. And this one is also signed. Yay! The last book I have is from a local author, and I just had to pick up his book after the panel that I saw them do. So it was a panel on vampires with Holly Black, Kelly Link, and Trent Jamieson, who's a local author. And I have read some of his books before. I've read a trilogy about death, which was super interesting, but he pretty much sold me this book in that panel, so I had to go buy it. And that book is Day Boy by Trent Jamieson, and this one explores the idea of vampires and the vampire myth. So in it there's a vampire master guy, and he's like super vampire guy at nighttime, but daytime he's pretty vulnerable because he's sleeping and he's, you know, can't leave. So Mark is his day boy and protects him during the day and looks out for him and does stuff. And this is about Mark figuring out what he wants to be, and that's pretty much all I know about this book. And this one's also signed, and it says, please enjoy my angry books about angry old men. So I'm pretty pumped to be reading this. I was put off vampire fiction for a long time because I didn't really like a lot of YA vampire stuff that was out there, but I've been getting back into it lately, and this is one that I definitely want to add to that list. Oh, so it's 9 books altogether. Look how big the bottom 2 are. Oh my goodness. I can't even. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of those books and what you thought of them, and if you have any other recommendations based off these. Regarding that book ban that I'm kind of on, a lot of these were new releases which are excluded. New releases and books that are becoming movies or TV shows, stuff like that. I are excluded. I also made a couple of exceptions for the Writers' Festival because when there are that many books around, what do you expect? And the other one I won, so I'm still going pretty strong, not splurging on stupid amounts of books at a time. Anyway, I'm gonna go and see if I can get these books into my bookshelf. Not looking too hopeful, but we'll see if we can fit them somewhere. Hey, I will see you next time. But in the meantime, tell me, what is a vampire book that you would recommend for me? Because I always was like, no, vampire books, they're over. But no, they're not. They're not over. They're quite still there. They exist. And I want to read some of them. So the books are on my lap right now. I'm pretty sure I'm going to start losing feeling in my feet soon because they're really heavy.